Hey friend, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, this one brings all the boys to the yard. Lush Milkshake IPA is a 6.5% New England Style IPA from Rochester Mills Beer Company in Rochester, Michigan. Now, it's been a hot minute since the last time I had a Rochester Mills beer on the channel, but friend of the channel, Adam Friedman, yes, that Adam Friedman, the famous Adam Friedman of the Lumber Slayer and Friends podcast, thanks for asking. He brought this one up to me a few months ago, and I hadn't had a whole lot of milkshake IPAs, but I do like Rochester Mills Milkshake Stout, so I figured this was a go. So I'm going to get this one in a glass, get it out of business. Now, fun fact, I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and when I do, I'll do a huge Q&A video. You can call and leave me voicemail questions at 224-DRAFT-20 or 224-372-3820. You can always email me at sean@drafttherapy.com. I'll be going through all the questions, making a video. I'll be selecting one person at random for a giveaway. I'll probably give away some Draft Therapy merch. Maybe I got new stickers. I've got some magnets, maybe a shirt, maybe something else. I don't want to say just yet what all that stuff will be, but leave me questions. I'll pick one random person and I'll give them that giveaway. I'll do that whole giveaway. It'll be a great thing. It'll be woo, yay. So anyways, we're going to take a look at the can here. This, it goes along with a lot of Rochester Mills beers. They're kind of newer motif in their labels, but this one looks basically like a glass of beer that's been poured. It has a header on the top with some carbonation around the middle, and it's got a brownish, yellowish, kind of orangey, brown, yellow mixture kind of color. And it says Lush Milkshake IPA, India Pale Ale, brewed with milk sugars, mangoes, and vanilla. And then on the back here, I love that they do this on their labels. They distinctly list what this kind of beer is. It says a milkshake IPA. Now, I know earlier on the intro, I said a New England style. That's what Beer Advocate lists it as. Rochester Mills here says milkshake IPA, so take whichever one you prefer. It says a tropical smoothie hop sensation. This IPA combines the citrusy and tropical hop flavors of Citra and Mosaic hops with ripe mangoes, subtly sweet lactose, and a hint of vanilla. Lists the IBUs at 45, the alcohol by volume at 6.5. This is 16 fluid ounces. And again, I like that they list this. It says featured hops, Citra and Mosaic, so you know what you're getting yourself into. It also lists the Independent Craft Beer Brewers Association logo, and then it says brewed and canned by Rochester Mills Production Brewery in Auburn Hills, Michigan. Now the tap room is in Rochester, Michigan. And just so you know, I picked a couple singles up. This was $2.39 a can. And then on the bottom, it has the expiration date. Now, I would almost rather have the brewed date or the can date or the bottle date or whatever. I think putting the expiration date on the bottom kind of is a little confusing, but the expiration on this can is July 4th, 2019, and their website, beercos.com, which I will leave in the description below this video. So I'm going to grab my IPA glass here. Whoa, nice ring to it. That's got a nice ring to it. We're going to go ahead and crack this open and get a smell right out of the can. All right, let's put a nose on this. I'm getting those telltale signs of Citra and Mosaic, right? I'm getting a little bit of a dankness, some citrus smells, some kind of orangey, tropical kind of aromas as well. But yeah, it smells like a lot of New England style IPAs or milkshake. Basically beers that use a lot of Citra or Mosaic. This has the telltale signs of those aromas. Let's go ahead and pour this and get it into the glass. It's really golden yellow coming out of the can. I'm going to start letting it kind of fill up there a little bit. And as it settles, it's, I'm not holding this up, but obviously has a whole bunch of head on it. I'm not even halfway through this can. But I also kind of want to let it kind of, work its way through. I don't want to pour too much and spill it. So looking at it, the head is obviously many fingers, about 4 fingers, 3.5, a lot of head on this. As you can see, a lot of really small compact bubbles, some kind of larger ones, but for the most part, they're really small, really compact, really tight bubbles. I'm going to pour a little bit more in here. Don't want to go overboard, but we're looking at just straight out of the can. There's a lot of good carbonation streaming up. It is a nice orange, kind of yellow, orangey, more just a bright, like a sunshiny kind of yellow color. I did see some particulate falling down. Let's go ahead and lift this up, hold it up to the light. There is a lot of kind of particulate in suspension here. On the bottom here, again, it's somewhat see-through on the top. It's a little bit more opaque, but I can actually kind of see a little bit more than the shadow of my fingers through this. So it's not super hazy, which is kind of surprising. I would have expected it to be a little bit hazier than this. All right, and that's the last pour I'm going to get. Let's get a better nose here out of the glass. Yeah, just kind of getting a sweet, citrusy, kind of dank scent. A little bit of some tropical notes here. Again, many, many fingers of head. This has not really settled down. The head has kind of, it's kind of broken up a little bit. There's a lot of condensed, really tightly packed ones right in the middle center, but along the sides, it's a lot of kind of airy bubbles here. So I'm ready to dive right in. Cheers. So it has a really nice tropical taste, really nice citrus notes in there. It's kind of tropical and sweet at first, and then that citrus kind of breaks through there. Mouthfeel's actually pretty good. It's a little bit on the medium side. It's kind of fluffy, little kind of not cloudy mouthfeel, but kind of a fluffy, airy kind of mouthfeel, but medium on the medium side. It's not a thin mouthfeel. It actually sits really nicely in there, and I think that's where the lactose, the milk sugars kind of help aid in that. This was brewed with mangoes and vanilla and milk sugars, so you can kind of get that sweetness that comes through has a lot to do with the sweet flavor that you're getting, or that I'm getting in this. I do get a lot of citrus flavors, again, tropical. I am getting the mango in there now. The mango kind of comes through on that opening, the tropical kind of flavor I referred to at the beginning. So that's coming through, and then this is really bursting kind of citrusy flavor. It's very sweet though. And again, that's where the milk sugar comes in. The bitterness is kind of like, it's on the aftertaste, it's on the tail, and a little bit on the swallow. That's when the bitterness kind of starts to break through. It's got a citrusy bitterness to it with a tiny bit of piney bitterness as well. This is a pretty decent beer. It's a good New England style. I think that there's so many New England styles that are like this that it's not really doing much to separate itself from those beers. That's kind of like the theme that I've been seeing a lot lately. Obviously, as these styles kind of mature a little bit, a lot more breweries are doing this kind of style. There's not a whole lot of, you have to do something really kind of crazy to separate yourself from everybody else. This one doesn't have a whole lot of separation from everyone else, but it's a serviceable beer. It's a good beer just straight through. Let's take one more taste here. I think that sweetness, though, I think the sweetness would kind of get to me over time. I think I might just want to drink one of these because that sweetness is so kind of high in there. It's so early in the mix, it's so early in the taste. It's kind of not something that I'd want to drink several of these of. It's 6.5%. Again, that's not, these days, it's not on the super high end. It's not a sessionable beer, but it just kind of sits right in the middle in that whole kind of ABV kind of spectrum of beer these days. Let's get one more taste. I think as it kind of warms a little bit, the bitterness is a little bit more pronounced. I would say if you're looking for a New England style that's got a nice sweet upfront body, it has that mango, it has those citrus tastes, and it has a little bit more of the bitter kind of edge that you're thinking of when you think of just a regular IPA, this might be the beer that you're looking for, the New England style beer, the Milkshake IPA that you're looking for. It doesn't seem as sweet as some of the other milkshakes IPAs that I've had. Again, I'm not super well versed in milkshake IPAs, but I like when I get a milkshake IPA for it to have other flavors in it besides just mango. Again, this one is might be a little bit too much sweetness or too much lactose to have multiple of these. It is a pretty sweet beer, but you're getting a lot of the mango, you're getting a lot of the citrus, and again, you're getting some of that bitterness, telltale sign of a regular just run-of-the-mill IPA. $2.39 is a pretty good price. Rochester Mills is always pretty competitively priced. They do a pretty good job of selling, you know, 4-packs for $10. I would say this is probably one of my more favorite Rochester Mills New England Style IPAs that I've had. Again, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say this is what I would think of when I think of a milkshake IPA, but this is really close to something like a Juice Bigelow or I believe the Double Deuce, the blue can. I can't remember what the name is off the top of my head, but that's the one I like more than the red canned Juice Bigelow. This is kind of similar to that, but I think it's a little bit more in the style of a New England than those two are, even though I like the second one, the double, whatever it's called, a little bit more than the first. I'd say this one I might like more than the double. So, but again, that sweetness up front is just, it might be too much for some people, but it has a good bitterness that a regular run-of-the-mill IPA drinker would be looking for. All right, friends, that has been Rochester Mills Milkshake IPA. Do you have a favorite milkshake IPA or a favorite Rochester Mills beer? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you like Michigan beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about Michigan beer twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays for free, all free, for viewers just like you. And I would hate for you to miss your next favorite beer because you weren't subscribed to the channel. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are. Most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.